Nate Wiggins is a 6'1" cornerback, 173 pounds, played at Clemson. Some thought he might be one of the better cover corners in this draft class. What did you see when you like it? And take us through this clip and what you see here.
I broke down a lot of film, so he's really hard to find a mistake on. So that's kind of how good he is. So this is Tez Walker from North Carolina, also a former Kent State Flash. A little shout out to the Flashes here. So he's a big body receiver. So Tez Walker is about 6'1", probably in the 190, 195 range. And this is about the only thing that I think gives Nate Wiggins an issue. So if you look, one of the things when you're slight, so at 173 pounds, even though he's long and he ran sub 4.3, it is really hard for him to reroute guys who are big bodied. So if you think about Amari Cooper, you think about Cedric Tillman, I think Nate Wiggins, even as a rookie, will match up well against Jerry Jeudy. I think he'll match up well against Elijah Moore because of his size. However, those big body guys, Cooper and Tillman, they are going to give him problems. First, on the line of scrimmage, it's very hard for him to jam these big guys. Secondly, you're going to see Tez Walker right here get on top of Wiggins, and Wiggins has trouble getting through the big body of Walker. So I think the Browns, obviously with Marlon Humphrey, I think Marlon Humphrey will be attached to Amari Cooper. And I think Cedric Tillman's the guy who's going to have a big day against Wiggins if they decide to go with Wiggins on him because of the body type, the big body, 6'3", 215 pounds. I think Cedric Tillman gives this guy problems because of his size. He's a really good corner and he's elite, but he's not a very heavy guy, even though he's long.
So along those lines, here's a look at Cooper and kind of how you think the Browns can attack Wiggins.
So this is the big game Cooper had against Texans when they played him first. Now Tingley, is he's a corner. He's 6'1", about 185, 190 pounds. So he's not real small, but he's not as big as Cooper. Cooper is an amazingly thick, big guy when you go watch him in person. So this is just a deep slant in the red zone. And Cooper does a really good job of pushing and kind of getting into the body of Tingley. Now, what he does as he gets into the body of Tingley, now it becomes a basketball play. So now Cooper can just simply get his body in front of Stingley, and kind of box him out to not allow Stingley to get over the top or get through the body of Cooper. And this is a really good job of closing the gap and using his body against Stingley. And Cooper does this a bunch against Stingley. He does it against the other corners against the Texans in this game where he had a huge game. But this is a great example of what I think Tillman and Cooper can do against Wiggins if Wiggins is forced to play for the Ravens.
Well, the other thing that you mentioned, all the guys that are back for the Ravens, they did lose their defense coordinator, Mike McDonald. Really good young head coach, took the head coaching job with the Seahawks. So that's, in and of itself, is an adjustment.
Well, yeah. So defensively, you're going to have a different mindset. You're going to have, it's all basically the defense comes down to what do you have to learn term wise, right? So everybody plays man, everybody plays two high safeties, one high safety. It's just kind of learning that terminology. The Ravens have historically been a very, very physical, in your face, man coverage kind of team. And I don't think that personality changes because Harbaugh's still in charge, and Harbaugh's a guy, an old school guy who likes to get in your face and challenge you. Now, I think Humphrey and Cooper is a great matchup, but this opposite corner with Wiggins is kind of something that I think the Browns can really take advantage of. Obviously, very important for Cooper to get into camp, but this is a matchup that I think Tillman, this could be a breakout game for Tillman because as a coordinator, you start to look for matchups. And the Ravens are really good on defense, especially just because of their toughness and their culture, who they are on defense. They're going to be with Roquan Smith inside. They're going to be very, very tough. You got to find these matchups. And I really think this is going to be a game where Tillman's really, really good against Wiggins.